Hi, boys and girls. Today, our passage is about bugs, and we're going to talk about bug power and the power of teamwork when it comes to insects. Insects and bugs are the same thing. When we talk about insects and we talk about bugs, we could be talking about the same thing. We just might use a different word for that. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about linking those ideas because we have to know that when I say bug power, I'm talking about insects because they don't say that in the text. All right. So we're going to read it and then we're going to go back and we're going to figure out which ideas link to each other. And then we'll read the rest of the passage. Okay. All right. Bug power, teamwork. How do some insects work together? What do termites, ants, and honeybees have in common? They are all social insects. Social insects live together in large groups called colonies. Social insects always have at least one queen. The queen is the mother. She lays the eggs. The rest of the group divides the work. There's our first paragraph in teamwork. Now we're going to go back and talk about how these ideas link to each other so that you can understand the text. As I said, if we talk about bugs, I'm going to highlight that on my text. There's bug. We're also talking about insects. So when I say here's insects and here's bugs, they link together because when we talk about bugs, we're talking about insects. All right, so let's see if we can do that together. Excuse me. What do termites, ants, and honeybees have in common? So what are termites, ants, and honeybees? We can link them back to what we talked about previously. Those are all examples of bugs or insects. So termites, ants, and honeybees link back to insects. Insects link back to the bugs. Do you see how that goes? It's like this connect the dots thing when you read. I'm going to take a drink, sorry. I felt like I was going to have a coughing fit again. All right, let's read the next sentence. They are all social insects. Who are they? Let's link them back. They is linked back to honeybees, ants, and termites, which is linked back to insects, which is linked back to bugs in our title. Do you see how they're all connected? If I didn't know who they were, I wouldn't understand that they are social insects. I have to know who they is when they're talking. So that's why I link those ideas back. All right, then it talks again about social insects. And who are the social insects? Termites, ants, honeybees, right? They live together in large groups called colonies. Colonies are what? The large groups. See how they link together? Social insects, who are the social insects? Honeybees, ants, and termites always have at least one queen. The queen is the mother. Who's the mother? Let's link that idea. The queen. She, who is she? The queen. So she links back to the queen. The rest of the group, who's the rest of the group? The rest of the insects divide the work. So we just linked all of our ideas back. Okay, and they all link back to bugs, which are also called insects. And they gave us examples, termites, ants, and honeybees. They also called them they. They said that they were social. They live together in colonies, which is also called large groups. And they have at least one queen, and she, which goes to the queen, lays the eggs. See how we did that? That's our linking of ideas so that we can understand that. I'm going to share with you in just a second outline of what we just read based on our information. So the outline I want to show you looks like this. So we just took all of our information that we just did and we made this outline. And what it says is that we started with the word bug, which also meant insects, which also connected to social insects, which gave you examples of termites, ants, and honeybees. They called them they, and they also called them rest of the group. So all of those ideas together hook back into the idea that a bug is an insect. These are examples of social insects and so forth. Now, in the social insect group, you have large groups because they are social. They like to be together. And the name that we call those large groups is a colony. And in that large group, there's always a queen, and she's the mother, and they also refer to her as she. So if you understand all of these things, then you just linked your ideas. And hopefully you remember and understand what we just read in that paragraph. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the next paragraph, but this time we're going to practice it together. So this is the I do. We're going to do the we do, and then I'm going to give you a chance to do it on your own. At the bottom of this video, if you click down there, I did give you the copy of the bug power text if you want to print that out, if you have access to a printer. If not, you can just do it with us online, all right, in the video. Okay, so get ready for that. If you want to print that out, go ahead and push pause, and we'll be right back with the rest of the text. Okay, so we did the first one together. That was the I do. Now we're going to do one together as the we do. And this is going to be all about amazing ants. So already we know our paragraph's going to be about ants. So that's going to be the topic of this paragraph, and we're going to figure out what it says about ants, okay? So we're going to go down, I'm going to read through it, and then we'll go back and we'll see how we can link ideas. All right, everybody ready? Ants often live in underground nests. The nests have thousands of rooms connected by tunnels. Millions of ants may live together in a nest. It can contain more than one queen. Worker ants take care of all the other ants. Larger worker ants are called soldier ants. Their job is to guard the nest. All right, so I'm going to get my highlighter again, and we're going to go down through and see what we can learn and how we can link our ideas. All right, first sentence, ants often live in underground nests. All right, the nests. What kind of nests? What's this referring back to? Underground nests. Very good. So when they talk about the nests, they're talking about the underground nests. All right. Why is this not working? Let me try that again. There we go. So when we talk about the nests, we're going to link that back to underground nests. They have thousands of rooms connected by tunnels. Millions of ants may live together in a nest. What kind of nest? What does it refer back to? Underground nests. Excellent job. It, what does it mean, it? It is what? What are they referring to when they say it? The nest. Excellent job. Can contain more than one queen. Worker ants take care of all the other ants. Larger worker ants are called soldier ants. When they talk about soldier ants, who are they referring to? Link that back to the larger worker ants. Excellent job. Their job is to guard the nest. Their. Who are they talking about when they say they? Their job refers to the soldier ants, who are also the larger worker ants. How did you do? What is the nest referring to? What type of nest? The underground nest. Excellent job. So see how those are all connected together. So if you want, you could get a piece of paper out and you could do an outline like I did the first time. If not, you don't have to. But what is the amazing part of ants? What do you think is so amazing about them? They live in underground nests. The nests have thousands of rooms, and there are millions of ants in that nest. We could have more than one queen in the nests. And there's different types of ants, aren't there? There's worker ants, there's larger worker ants. What are those called? Soldier ants. And what's the soldier ant's job? To guard the nest. What nest? The underground nests. Excellent job. All right. Are you ready to try one on your own? Okay, we're going to go down to the next paragraph. Ooh, look at that. That's busy bees. And look, the picture has a caption. Do you think this is a photograph or do you think this is a picture that was drawn? Well, it's a nonfiction text, so most of the time nonfiction texts have photographs. So somebody actually took this picture. And the caption reads, "A beehive is filled with rows of cells called honeycombs. They are made of beeswax." Ooh, this has some connecting ideas and some linking ideas. Do you want to see what it is? All right, it says with rows of cells. I'm going to take this off so it doesn't do. Maybe it's going to. Let me slide this down here. Rows of cells called honeycombs. Honeycombs refers to what? The rows of cells. So we know those are called honeycombs. And then they refer to them as they. What are they? The rows of cells, also called honeycombs. See, can be in the captions as well. All right. So here's your paragraph about honeybees. See if you can do this. Life in a honeybee hive is busy. Up to 60,000 bees may live together. Only one queen bee lives in a hive. Worker bees do all the chores. They care for the young bees and the queen. They clean and guard the hive and control the hive's temperature. The workers also make food for all the bees in the hive. All right, I'm going to actually highlight something, and then I want you to try to figure out on your own what they're referring to. What's the connecting or linking idea? Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to highlight they. No, I'm not, because it keeps turning off. Okay, I'm going to try it again. There we go. So I want, all right, there we go. They care for the young bees and the queen. They clean and guard the hive and control the hive's temperature. I want to know who they are. Who is the author referring to? Who is they connected with? Who are they talking about? Say it. Worker bees. Excellent job. You just did that on your own. The worker bees do all the chores, and then they call them they care for the young bees and the queen. They clean and guard the hive and control the hive's temperature. And then they call them workers again down here. The workers also make food for all the bees in the hive. No wonder they're called worker bees. Look at all that stuff they're doing. All right, what do you think? Let's try talented termites. My goodness. This is a termite nest. It's called, they make them so they kind of look like mushroom shaped. Think that's a real photo? It is. Do you see the caption? Excellent. All right, here we go. Our last one. I'm going to see if you can do it on your own. As we read, I'll stop and ask. Termites build tall nests in wood or soil. A nest can be up to 40 feet high. Millions of termites may live in one nest. Every colony has a king and a queen. They make the eggs. Worker termites build the nest and care for the eggs. Soldier termites protect the colony. All right, who are they referring to when they say they? See if you can figure that out. Read it over again if you need to. Who's making the eggs? They. You're right, king and the queen. They make the eggs. Now, who is building the nest and caring for the eggs? The worker termites. And who's protecting the colony? The soldier termites. What is the nests made of? Wood or soil? So let's go back up here and look at this picture. I think it's very interesting. So do you think that's soil or do you think that's wood? Maybe both. I'm not sure. I hope you enjoyed it today. Remember, when you're reading, you can always link those ideas back to each other. My question now for you to think about is, why do you think authors don't use the same language over and over and over again? Like, for example, if we go back up here in our first paragraph, why doesn't it say bug power? How do some bugs work together? Why don't they keep using the word bug? What do bugs have in common? They are all bugs. Bugs live together in large groups called colonies. Bugs always have at least one queen. The queen is the mother. The queen lays the eggs. Why don't they use the same words over and over again? Because sometimes we like to hear varied sentence structure. We like to refer to them as different things because it makes your paragraph more interesting. If I just kept saying bugs, 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 that would kind of be boring. So we can also learn a lot by the different references that they do, because we just learned that a bug and an insect are the same things. We learned some examples. We learned that they're social. We learned a lot more with the different language they used. Sometimes when we're little, when we first start to write, I'm sure you've all done this. It's a good thing because I like writing, so I don't mind how you do it. But it's sometimes better to make your writing sound better by changing the words. When you were little, you might have wrote, I like dogs. I like my mom. I like my dad. I like pizza. I like my teacher. I like my friends, which is great. But what did you notice? A lot of repetition. It'd be better if we varied our sentence structure a bit. Just something to think about. That's what authors do. They want to make it more interesting for their readers. I hope you enjoyed my linking ideas today. Remember that when you're reading, that you can figure that out too. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.